Poltergeist fans, run, run for your life. Gotta love those classic horror remakes though. Shit. Oh my god. Okay, so Poltergeist. So Poltergeist is the remake slash reboot of the 1982 horror classic Poltergeist, and that's praised among many people as one of the most scariest haunting movies ever made. And the premise to this is very simple. A family ran by Sam Rockwell and Rosemary DeWitt move into their new home thinking they're gonna have the best lives and them being in the best horror remake we have ever seen. And it turns out this evil entity is haunting this house and these evil spirits come out to haunt the family. Honestly, I wasn't looking forward to Poltergeist at all. There really was no hype built for it in the trailers. And it's just another one of those cash grabs that you see in horror movies so that kids in high school could go see Friday night because it's the newest horror flick. I mean, joke's on me because I ended up seeing it over the weekend. Although you can tell this is just a modernized version of the horror classic, but the worst part is, oh, this has got to be one of the most non-scariest movies I have seen in recent memory. But before I get into why, I'll touch on some of the things that might have brought the movie up just quite a bit. Surprisingly, the cast for it was good for the most part. You got Sam Rockwell and Rosemary DeWitt as the parents who actually gave decent, believable performances for a horror movie. Sam Rockwell especially, honestly, he is one of the most underrated actors working today. He just doesn't get the recognition he deserves. There were a couple scenes where he's just getting real emotional. He's just bringing it to the table, and it just showed why I love Sam Rockwell so much. I mean, the movie could be straight garbage and he can be the saving grace, and it turns out Sam Rockwell is that saving grace. Iron Man 2 is on the list. I loved him in Iron Man 2. Now the newest movie on that list is now Poltergeist. And not just Sam Rockwell, but we got Jared Harris, which he's as good as always. But then the acting just kind of goes out the window where you got scenes where they just focus on their kids and their terrible acting. I feel like a dick saying they're not good in this movie, and I know they're kids, but seriously, they're bad. And everything about Poltergeist just fails entirely. I really don't think I can touch on how many things this movie did wrong. But one of them that absolutely caught my attention was the amount of CGI used in the film that looked incredibly unrealistic to a point. Some of it was used to sort of recreate some of the scenes that made the original one so iconic. Like for example, like the face peel scene that Craig T. Nelson was in. The movie tries to do the same thing, but the way it was executed didn't feel remotely threatening or scary. In the original, it looks cheesy if you look at it now, but those were practical effects and props used to make the face peel scene feel real. But in this one, Sam Rockwell's face is just having a facial period, and you barely get to see it since it's on the reflection of his sink. That, of course, was CGI. It really looked like a PlayStation 2 game. It didn't feel special at all. You see that throughout the film, and it just misses the mark every time. Not to mention a fucking CGI squirrel. It's fucking CGI squirrel, holy shit. And the fact that this movie wasn't even scary at all brings major points down, because obviously you pay to see a horror movie to get scared. And you know it'll work if you feel like this evil entity follows you home and you can't sleep that night. Sadly, the CGI rodent didn't follow me the car ride home, and I slept like a baby that night. All of that falls on it being a remake of an 80s horror film, so you've really seen it all before. When the jump scares happen, they really do nothing to you, and there was zero freaky imagery. And if you guys have seen Tomorrowland, which I'm gonna be giving a light spoiler, not too much though, there's a scene where George Clooney was in a jetpack and he has Raffi Cassidy in his arms. If you guys know what I'm talking about, that scene alone scared me more than Poltergeist ever could. And it was from a Disney movie too. I had to shake my head at that bullshit. So in the end, Poltergeist had pretty good acting, but that's not the reason why you go to see a horror movie. It's just icing to the cake. The movie wasn't even scary since it tried to recreate the original, had poor scares and horrible CGI. Almost gave it my worst rating, but thank goodness Sam Rockwell and Jared Harris were here to save the day. Cause I say if you really want to see Poltergeist, just wait till the Netflix release. Or to save you time, don't ever see this movie. Have you guys seen Poltergeist? What did you guys think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, leave a comment below. And as always, there's a link for my Twitter and my Facebook in the description as well. Keep in contact with me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But in the meantime, I have to get going to sleep like a baby because that movie was not scary at all.